Welcome to Work the Left Side. True Grit did a show Friday night. It was Showtime Slam. So obviously I am joined by the dynamic duo, that is Paul and Dan. As I wasn't there, they were there. So again, two True Grit shows in a row. I'm having to live vicariously through you guys. So yeah, mate. I mean, I've seen clips. I've seen a few reels. Checked out what people have been posting on Insta. Mate, it looked awesome. And I know obviously the feedback is, it's one of the best shows they've ever done. The main event was one of the best matches ever. So, yeah, every match was top notch from what I've heard as well.
Yeah,
it was. Incredible event. It's something special. The Pride shows, it was special last year, and I think this one exceeded it. Really, really was a great show.
Well, there's no rumbles. There's no rumble this year. It's just solid matches, wasn't it? So that kind of felt more like a proper show in a sense, and all the matches felt like them. Well, from what I've heard, they felt like they meant something. Things were happening, stories were being told, and it was all good stuff.
Yeah, well, this is the difference, because last year was the True Grit Games.
Yes.
It felt very much sort of self-contained. It was the first Pride show, and the True Grit Games is brilliant. They did it for the women's title. They've done it for the Pride title now, but that very much felt like its own thing. This was a Pride show, but this had effects that were so much more far-reaching than just that one show. We've seen rivalries go on for, culminate for over a year. We've seen new stuff kick off. People are coming back in who've maybe not even been in for a year, things like that. And then people who've come in recently are getting some massive opportunities. So yeah, there was so much more around this. It felt bigger and even better than the Pride show last year. And just as soon as we got there, just the vibe around the place. It's always great at True Grit, but there was just a little extra in there. There was a lot of new faces, and just even more excitement than usual, just to see some of the faces that we don't often see around. It was just really, really bloody good, and just a pleasant place to be.
First match, I wanted, based on what I've seen and heard, Jake Lawless.
Versus Jason Joshua. Yeah.
Big Daddy Unicorn.
Yeah, great to see Jason Joshua back. I know all three of us want to see more of Jason in True Grit. Jake Lawless, not somebody I'm familiar with, to be honest. Definitely Scottish.
Yes.
Not that much.
I think he's one half of the ICW Tag Team Champions, I think.
Arcade Violence, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I knew the name, I just didn't put two and two together on that one. But this was a banging opener, very much a sort of a classic good guy, bad guy dynamic, and two guys who, they put together the powerhouses and all that, but a lot of just busting out some really athletic stuff as well. It was a really sort of textbook way to get a crowd going and get a show going.
It's your classic heel, classic good guy, like we always talk about, opening the show. Like sort of said, with it being a Pride show, there's obviously some new faces there. Might have been the first wrestling show. Right, let's give them, a clear-cut good guy, clear-cut bad guy. We'll tell you what to do. Boo him, cheer him, get that rhythm going, enjoy your night kind of thing.
Yeah, there was some real big moves in there as well that got the crowd going. Jason Joshua held up Jake Lawless for 30 seconds plus on a stalling suplex. Just absolute insane athleticism. But obviously we saw Jake Lawless on his debut come away with the win.
It's a bit of a sneaky win, though, wasn't it? Working over the arm and then into the exposed turnbuckle. But just going on about Jason Joshua, he hit a sequence of moves where he did the sort of the flip over the rope to get back in the ring, and then he's in, and it was like just sort of a duck and spin round uppercut and loads of strikes off the ropes, big old knee lift, picked Lawless up, just flapjacked him and then big senton. It was like proper non-stop stuff, and I'd love to see these two run it back actually. Ooh. And have a rematch because, I think Joshua deserves one. the way it ended was a little bit sneaky, but you make your own luck in these situations, I suppose. And yeah, Jake Lawless, I definitely have him back. I could see that becoming a great rivalry.
Yeah, always hyped to see Big Daddy Unicorn. But yeah, like I said, great way to. It just makes all the sense in the world to have this as the opening match, get the fans going, sets the bar. What had the joy of trying to follow this?
It was the tag team match. It was Act 2 versus Gen 1. Not seen Gen 1 wrestle as a tag team before. Only ever seen them in the True Grit Rumble last year at the Pride Show. Act 2. Been at True Grit a couple of times.
Yep.
Very popular tag team. Tag team, again, we'd love to see more of. And I only sort of knew what to expect from Act 2. Didn't know what to expect from Gen 1. Obviously, you know by reputation. This was a bloody phenomenal tag team match. Yeah. It blew me away. There was so much going on. It's one of those where I couldn't begin to tell you, like, move for move, hold for hold, spot for spot sort of thing. It was just because it was just right. What are they going to do to each other next? And it was a bit of a surprise to see a bit of naughty boy antics from Act 2. Never seen that before.
They've done it a few times. The last match I watched them have against the 05 at Infamous, they kind of took the heel personas, and that was really weird. Yeah, it's weird when Act 2 act a little bit gnarly. It's just like, but Jack Hudson and Benjamin Harlan, they're just lovable. They're adorable, and seeing them play heels, I was like, I don't like that. It doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, I must admit, like at the time, it was fantastic. Like when it started, it was action packed. I think that heel antic may have been dropped in to give the crowd that was new to wrestling.
Yeah,
you need to cheer this one. You need to boo this one. I'm not sure whether it was done on the fly because they both came out very face personas, high fiving the crowd, and I think like the crowd were left a bit like we don't know who to get behind here, and some of the moves that were being hit, it's like, do we enjoy this? Is it a good hit? And I think it may have been done on the fly. I think it may have been, we need to have a clear cut here. We're going to take on the heel. We're going to take on the face, and it happened just with a handshake in the middle of the ring, and Act 2 all of a sudden just straight into it, and then it seemed to up a gear. Then I think even Isaiah Quinn said it on the commentary. He said, it's up to gear now, and you did feel it then once we had somebody to get behind and somebody who we didn't want to see to win, especially for those that were new there that night. The noise level picked up, the atmosphere picked up. So yeah, it was. It just changed the whole spectacle of the match.
That's a great shout.
In a good way.
Sorry, go.
No,
sorry, in a good way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that kicking up a gear is what made it so special, because it's not something I can recall being sort of as aware of when I'm watching wrestling. Whereas this, it was really, really good what they were doing beforehand. But then to go, right, bang, now we're heel versus face, and we're going to up everything, and now everything means a little bit more. Just phenomenal from everybody involved. And give us more Act 2 versus Gen 1 again. I'm all for rematches. Make it a number one contendership match.
Yeah.
Please.
I particularly love the spot with Prince Pele. He was running turnbuckle to turnbuckle to turnbuckle, and then at one point he ducked, and I think it was Knudsen came running to clatter him from behind, and Pele just ducked, and he ended up clattering Haaland in the corner. It was a brilliant spot, and then Pele had the glitter in his hand, threw it up in the air, and Haaland's just looking up and slap across the face. It was just so much fun. The crowd really liked these little quirky spots, and that's what was good about Gen 1. They had a lot of nerdy, fun spots in the match, and it really got the crowd, warmed up if they weren't already warmed up.
And rightly so for a team that come out to the Pokemon theme tune.
I was going to say
Exactly.
both of those guys, appreciate some comic books, anime, cartoony references, and James Grayson's awesome. Prince Pele, obviously, all the love in the world. That guy's quality. He's just got that thing about him as well. He connects with the fans. It's a little cheeky smile, the little cheeky hip wiggle. Just everything he does is just like kind of makes you smile.
It's
Rock,
the two of them.
rock, paper, scissors. Who's going to start? Just these small spots, and they both teased a suicide dive, and they were running. And Act 2 was like this, and they both just sat down at the ropes, just smiled, looking at them. It was just fun. It was so much fun. Yeah, double thumbs up.
Oh man! But obviously, I'm guessing on Act 2 got the W.
Yes.
Yep. And
And then obviously an embrace at the end, and a show of respect to each other, and obviously both finished as faces the way that they started.
There was another teaser, Naughty Boy Antics, though, as well.
Yeah,
Wasn't
there
from Act
was.
2, just a little cheeky, just a little cheeky thing. But I think that's again with Act 2, that's the fun. They managed to be the bad guys in the match, and even afterwards, they're just so naturally likable that you can, oh, you little scamps, it's all right.
yeah, God, we'll let you off this time. So obviously, yes, two very different matches as well, though. By the sounds of it, to open up, like sort of said, you've got that sort of the powerhouses, clear cut heel face. Then you've got a tag team match that just hits the ground running. What was next?
It's one of the big ones. So we did. We had another situation where we had 3 matches, an interval. It was Priscilla versus HT Drake.
Yes. It's always going to be emotional.
Yeah, it was
Priscilla's
immense. I was stood with a bunch of people who were at the first wrestling show were friends of Priscilla. It was the first time they'd come to see him wrestle. And it was last match for True Grit, so they were fully invested anyway, but just the story that these two told, to culminate the rivalry, just had them enraptured.
I'm guessing as well we had an amazing, top-notch promotional hype video leading into the match.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was really well put together. This is one of the... Well, I can only speak on what I've seen. I'm more modern day True Grit era, if you will. So, but since I've been coming to True Grit, I can't think of many rivalries that are as deep as this one, as emotional as this one. It's been a top rivalry. There's been some good ones in True Grit, but this was one of the best. And that video package that was put together, did it justice. And then they rose to the occasion and made this match, as good as it deserved to be.
Yeah, I agree with Paul. I've been going to True Grit a long time. This is just right up there. We've had Brady in general being the champion was a great sort of story to tell. But in the terms of two people who just don't like each other and one bullying the other and the psychological manipulation and everything like that, this is some of True Grit's best work. And it's that video package beforehand, and Priscilla's entrance, I had goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
Just in anticipation of what was to come. And it started off as it often has. Drake was just everywhere. He was a man possessed. He was stomping and mud-holing Priscilla. Priscilla kept going for the trademark offense and getting cut off at the pass. And we were all there. You could feel the tension in the room, saying, "Please don't let Priscilla lose." Right from the outset.
Seen the clip where she gets a nail broken and she's about to start, and he just kicks her in the face, and it's like, whoa, that breaker momentum. That just kind of like, obviously we're so accustomed to that spot kind of thing that we kind of thought, oh yeah, we know what's coming. Here we go. No, kick to the face. Oh, when you're just expecting something and it doesn't come, it just makes it even more shit. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
The heat was really, really heavy. But the good thing is about when the heat is so heavy, any hope spots that you get and hope for the face, in this case Priscilla, getting back into it. When that's cut so short, the hope spots, and then you're met with another long beat down, it just makes it so sweeter. The heroic victory. Yeah, it was such a good match. The effort that they put into it as well. The complete transformation that we've seen of Priscilla, wrestling as Ollie Burns, the facial hair and everything. Like, I've compared it to Paul Heyman when he first took on the new bloodline, and you could physically see that he looked ill, he looked exhausted, he wasn't happy in that group, and that's how I've compared Priscilla. You completely fully invested in the character, fully invested in the promos. We spoke about how good HT Drake was last time, and as you always say, Nick, the rivalry is only as good as the bad guy in it, and that rivalry has been the best that I've seen.
Yeah. And in this match, I've got to say Drake again, standing with those people who were at the first wrestling show, seeing him, I think it was the gut wrench backbreaker.
Yeah.
And he just, with ease, just bump, walking around Priscilla on his shoulder. And one of the, I think her name was Jess, who was with, I got talking to, just went, oh my God, he's so strong. And then dropped into the backbreaker. And I'm sure, I don't know if it was Jess or somebody else, because I focused on the ring. So, oh my God, he's so mean.
Yes,
that's our Drake. That's our Drake.
That's Drake. This is what I was legitimately as hyped as I was for the main event. I've been around long enough. I saw Priscilla back in the BWA days, the Bradford Wrestling Alliance days with the young Nash. I've kind of followed Priscilla for pretty much from the start, and I'm legitimately, genuinely gutted to have missed their last match at True Grit. It's something that's going to haunt me. So it's just one of those moments where I just really wanted to be there to witness it. But yeah, again, everything that I've seen, everything that I've heard, it was just, if you're going to go with a smile, and that was just, that put a smile on everybody's face. Everybody was just, again, I know Priscilla's one of those people. I know people that I'm close with that go to shows sometimes can be a bit negative or, just gnarly. And I'm just a bit like, Priscilla's Priscilla, nothing but respects. They're great at what they do. They do what they do, and they do it better than a lot of nearly anybody else. But this match just, everything from what I've seen or heard, even the naysayers were just like, 5-star. As much as hype as the main event is getting, Drake and Priscilla, can't be overlooked as well. I don't, as great as a few of the matches were, it's just, I don't know, it's just mind blowing as to how good this match was from what I've heard.
It felt like a moment in time as well. Priscilla's last year in wrestling, last match at True Grit, Priscilla laid so much groundwork and helped lay the groundwork for True Grit coming back. It really was just a perfect send off, and I think it's credit as well to JC and setting the show up the way that it was. This felt like a main event, and we were a third of the way into the show, maybe an hour.
It's crazy.
It could have quite easily been the main event, couldn't it? Really, there's a few of them that could have been. We got a Canadian destroyer as well out of Priscilla, and a backhand, the heavily rumored backhand. Nobody's ever seen it. It was always a rumor. We finally saw it. Bang,
bang.
Yeah, and that was that. It was just, but I've very rarely heard left bank as loud as that. For Priscilla winning, it was I've got it on my other screen here. Actually, I've just seen the hidden backhand. It was a proper tears in the eyes moment.
But I'll just take a second in that case to say thank you to Priscilla. This is the last time we see him in the True Grit ring. Obviously, I can't speak for you two guys, but I will speak from myself and for wrestling fans that I know that appreciate you, Priscilla. Thank you so much for everything you have done for True Grit and everything you've done for wrestling as a whole. Being an icon, leading the way, being an inspiration as well for so many people. Yeah, thank you, Priscilla.
Yeah, seconded.
We're
not going to top that. So should we move on?
Yeah.
So coming out of the first interval, it was, I believe, Shea Monet versus Sammy Blue.
Yeah.
Now, this was one I was looking forward to. Well, I was looking forward to it all, but especially after the last show when Sammy put on such a banger with Adam Bolt, I was really interested and excited to see how Sammy stepped up to Shea Monet, because Shea Monet's been around the block a long time. In my opinion, one of the best in the UK, and I said as much afterwards. And this, for the second match in a row, this was another breakout match for Sammy Blue.
Yeah.
Absolute madness, this match. Just the pace that these two managed to put on in that hot room was completely ridiculous.
I know Paul was talking to me after the show kind of thing. And he mentioned this. You mentioned this match to me, dude, didn't you? You kind of, know, as great as the main event was, that main event wasn't so good. This could have been a match of the night kind of thing. It was that good. And that taken into account the Drake Priscilla match as well kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shea and Sammy Blue just absolutely. I say Shea's been around. They know what they're doing. Just one of the best. This, for me, by the sounds of it, this is a match where Sammy's leveled up. He's shown, he kind of like teased it, like I said, with Adam Bolt. He's just freaking, it's like, he's just needed one more XP to level up. This match was that match, and Sammy's just at that next level now.
Well, I said on Twitter afterwards when I was, I think after I'd got back home, the last two matches are the breakout for. I said it was somewhat corny, like the future's bright, the future's blue. Well, Sammy's going to go incredible, like based on this and the Bolt match and just the rise of Sammy since he's come in. Undeniable at this point, even in losing efforts, to step up like that and go toe to toe. Was Sammy Blue advertised, the show that made the debut? Was it the Sean Only match?
He wasn't. No, it was meant to be Sean Only versus Horace. Obviously, Sean Only deemed we weren't worthy at the York show, so Sammy stepped up and took his place. So it was an unadvertised debut.
Yeah, from unadvertised debut to title shot to match against one of the best on one of the biggest shows, the biggest and best shows of the year. To hold you, and honest to God, this match again was classic face versus heel. Shea Monet's playing up, coming out with Jackie T, by the way.
Jackie T, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking at possible regime affiliation. There was a we've seen the naughty side to Shea Monet, shall we say, in True Grit, in True Grit appearances before. But this was another level. Shea was sadistic, just brutal at times. I've got a great shot of Shea hitting like a tarantula style move, and Sammy bending over backwards.
I've seen that.
Yeah, Sammy took a lot of punishment, but dished out a hell of a lot as well. So yeah, sorry, Paul, you talk, so I could go on all day.
No, you'd have to, forgive my ignorance, but when I was training for my match, I went over to Wrestling Kingdom and I was training with Gareth Angel, doing a bit of training there. And I remember him saying to me, why are people like Gungo Muttley and Sammy Blue, ring crew at True Grit? He said they should be like in the ring. And I didn't know anything about Sammy Blue then, never seen him anywhere else. And I remember Nicky, jobbing with Nicky Hayes, screaming his name from the rooftops. And I was thinking, what is the fascination with this guy? Ignorance. I knew that he must have been good, but every time has just been impressive. Like the way he took the finisher as well. The finisher from Shea Monet, this half Nelson into a driver, that is a finisher. And the room just completely went silent. You could hear a pin drop. There was no cheer, no boo, nothing. Everyone was just like, oh my God, is he alive? And the way that he took that, like, it was, you saw it and heard it, didn't you, Dan? It was brutal.
I
And
don't, Nick, have you seen it?
I have seen it. It will pop up in a second by YouTube
yeah,
magic.
No, I was terrified at the
I
end of
was.
that because
was.
I saw Chili Heatwave take a
Yeah.
similar move at Planet. Well, we were all there, I think, that night.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was Chili broke his collarbone that night.
He
But
did indeed.
I was scared that it was much more. And to see
Yeah,
the same happen to Sam, I thought I was really worried for Sammy, but got to talk to him afterwards. He was okay-ish in the grand scheme of things. No major injuries, we'll put it that way.
No.
But yeah, Sammy's just such an easy person to get behind. Again, I've got the match on now. Just see the way he's dodging around, hitting one set of ropes, then go curveball, go to the other side, running rings around Shea was brilliant. And then they added a bit in the middle of Shea getting pissed off with Jackie T and having a bit of an epiphany, saying he doesn't need Jackie to beat Sammy, and all of that was just another layer to the whole thing. But yeah,
and the
looking forward to
promo at
seeing.
the end.
Yeah, the endorsement.
Let's run it back. I think that was genuine. I think it was from the heart. Shea Monet said, "Easy night for me. I'm going against a beginner." Same sort of ignorance I had. And then said, you're effing good, like, Sammy, you're effing good. And if it's a month's time, a year's time, even 5 years' time, I'll be waiting for that rematch. So, and I think that was genuine. I really do.
Yeah.
I felt the same way as well. You're brilliant. Really is effing good.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, I messaged Paul earlier. From the clips I've seen, Shea was throwing suplexes like some glorious, fabulous Taz from back in the day. He was hooking them, snapping back. It was just
Razzmatazz.
It was just a razzmatazz. Yeah, just a razzmatazz. Mate, that's it. I'm done. You take over. That's it.
Why did you with the razzmatazz laugh? Well, when Sammy Blue's Pride champion, we'll get that rematch. That'll be quite nice. Or Shea Monet is somebody again I'd love to see more of. Just in Yorkshire in general. Obviously, it's a long trek down from Scotland, but
could potentially be after the fallout with Adam Bolt at the end. There is a potential, isn't there? Fell out with Jackie T, and obviously aligned with Sammy Blue, mark of respect. So
tag match,
yes, could happen.
Shea Monet and Sammy versus Jackie and Adam.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be a bit tasty. Be full of razzmatazz. There we go. So again, this is seems like every match that we're talking about. It's a case of it's like, okay, what had the pleasure of trying to follow that?
Well, this is the good thing. This is why you have a variety show. Yeah. This is why you have every match is a little bit different. You've got a bit of something for everybody. Because next up was the Fatal 4-Way. It was Dave Atlas versus Alex Lockhart versus Sassy Bear Clarence and Zio Knox, the Tory bastard.
Yeah.
And
I love
this one definitely had a favourite, didn't it, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the sassy bear chant going at the start. I'm quite proud of that.
You did, yeah. I
even got a few dance moves to acknowledge the effort that I put in. I was screaming for Sassy Bear, me.
Yeah, I jokingly said I need to talk to Sassy and find out if we share some parentage somewhere. Because no, I'm joking. Sassy's far better looking than I am. But yes, everybody's behind Sassy Bear straight from the off. Everybody in this match did well, obviously, but Sassy was the clear favourite. Zio's obviously the heel, coming in with a croquet mallet and just generally looking like he can smell shit all the time. And I love Zio. I think he's ace. Obviously watched him for a long time at North, part of the landed gentry. Saw him and Benji wrestle the week before at Thunderstruck 3. which was a hell of a match. So Zio can go, and him and Sassy were sort of the big lads in the match, and they had their the shoulder block off and all that. It was just a lot of fun and a bit of a clusterfuck, as this type of match should be.
Yeah, it's an impressive debut for Alex Lockhart as well. I seen him at another show, and yeah, it was nice to see him come into True Grit. But he looked brilliant, especially at that event. Came in full of charisma, full of character. But yeah, Sassy Bear was just on next level with the lip lock, the kiss, the lip lock, and then a Bronco Buster on Zio Knox. So it's just another fun thing, and that's what this show needed to be for the crowd that was there. Just a lot of fun, a lot of colour, a lot of charisma, a lot of character, and some good wrestling just to add in there, and that's what we got. It was, yeah, I'm not a fan of Fatal 4-Ways, but that one I did like, classic variety. As long as everyone's not doing the same thing, you've got size on one hand, you've got speed on the other, you've got a heel, and there's a lot of things going on. I don't mind a fatal 4-way, if it's done right. And yeah, that was perfect. Just exactly what we needed to break up the other matches.
It was a palate cleanser, basically.
Yeah.
And that's not an insult, because that's what they were there to do. We've seen all this madness going on. We've had all this emotional investment previously, and this was a lot of fun, like Paul said, and just to get us ready for what was to come later in the show. And all four of them absolutely killed it. Dave Atlas and Alexander Lockhart, not two people I'm not familiar with at all. So yeah, again, love to have them back, but definitely need more Clarence in True Grit.
Was this palate cleansing and allowing people to kind of just get their breath back? Because I'm going to hazard a guess it's going to be Sterling versus Bandit next.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. But again, you're going from all that we've had before it, and now we're in for some hardcore, from No Holds Barred, and some weapons and some absolute madness.
Shocks. Some barbed wire covered cuddly shocks.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, you talk. I've just got to go close the door. 2 ticks. Yeah,
no, I straight from the off, I love the entrance. Stephanie Sterling coming out with the commando. We knew that we were going to be in for some fun, and it's very, very niche, but I do like these matches that Sterling's putting on at the moment, where there's a bit of narrating going on with it, with the microphone, and saying how Bandit's gone on to do other things, but I beat that bitch last time, and she doesn't even have to work hard to get that heat. Like, even said it themselves. Like, I thought I was going to have to work harder than that to get a boo, but straight from the off, even on a mic before a shot was even thrown, we knew who we didn't want to win, and we knew who we did want to win. And I love this match. Yeah, it was. I've never seen Bandit before. Like, I just missed the first match that they had before I started coming to True Grit. I wish that I'd have seen it. I'm going to have to watch that one back, because I've heard so many good things about it, hence why they put it on again. Like, I'm amazed with Sterling because of the promo from last year. There's no secret that there's not going to be wrestling with us forever, and some of them bumps, like, I didn't want to look. There was a bump on a table, from in the ring to the floor. And I know that morbid curiosity sometimes makes you want to have a look. I just stayed in my seat. I thought, I don't want to see what that looks like on the floor. It was some amazing bumps. I'm just amazed how well Sterling's still moving around the ring, considering how close the hint was at retiring, at the last show.
Mm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Commander Sterling. I've been predating wrestling for the work in video games. Jim has been doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, and I was there for the first match between Sterling and Bandit. It was really good. It was really bloody good, and this one lived up to it. I have to say that I've been on record for quite a while, saying that wrestling needs more kicks up the arse. We got a couple of kicks up the arse in this match quite early on, so that was me easily entertained because I've got the humour of a 5-year-old.
It was with the mic, though. Fine that the mic works. Now, a lot of people wouldn't like that, but, it was, this one is for such a thing. This one's for your views on, pop culture. And I just kept kicking. And I loved all that work with the mic. Some people don't like it. I loved it.
There was just enough of it for me.
Yeah.
Just enough. It didn't outstay its welcome. They knew when to stop it. And that's just reminded me of the stop sign when Bandit went for the dive.
Yeah.
Steph stood and picks up a stop sign as Bandit's diving, smash right in the face.
Yeah.
Then it stop sign. It was the barbed wire shark was there. Didn't quite have the Pokeball thumbtacks or anything like that, but we got a good old like samurai movie style sword fight with kendo sticks.
You say samurai, man? That was pure lightsaber. That was learned directly from Qui-Gon. That was Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul from Episode 1.
Yeah, but where did they get it from?
Seven Samurais. I don't know. That was a galaxy far, far away, mate. So I don't know if they have samurais in a galaxy far, far away. But
it's like in Futurama when the broadcast gets to the galaxy like 1,000 years in the future. Paul, you were saying about the door, the command door. Yeah. I managed to get what I thought was a brilliant joke in saying it became a matador spot when Bandit dodged out the way and Sterling threw themselves through the door again.
Yeah.
It's becoming a trademark at this point. But yeah, it's another match which is something a little bit different and just brilliant in its own right. This type of match first time round was an experience, and it was this time around.
I'll be interested to see. So the True Grit have announced the Summer Riot poster today, but obviously Bandits on that poster, so they will be in York. So I'll be interested to see who they go up against in York.
Mm-hmm. We
already
know.
If you were there live and if you watched on Triller, you do already know. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting.
Who is it? Well, by all means, tell us who is it.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it. Yeah.
We'll get to it. Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be sick having Bandit in York.
Yes, it's going to be different though, because obviously Joey and Alton will be taking up the weapon spot of the show. I would have thought.
I still can't wait to see. Sorry, I've just remembered as well when Sterling was giving their sort of monologue at the start of the show. Blew my mind that Bandit just stood there on one foot, brought the knee up, and just stood there like that with the elbow resting on the knee. And I'm thinking, if I tried that, I would pull 17 different muscles all over and shit myself. Yeah. just ridiculously impressive.
So I'm trying it off the top of my head. I'm going through the matches we have left. Would it be Rhio versus Sky Smithson next?
It would, but we'll just say quickly, Kid Bandit picked up the win. So it's that makes it 1-1, doesn't it? Between
it does.
Bandit. So who knows?
A retirement match.
Maybe soon there'll be a rubber match. But yeah, next up was the women's title match: Rhio versus Sky Smithson, and
as good as I presumed it would be.
Yeah, it's never going to not be good, is it? With two wrestlers, the quality of those two. We've said before, Rhio doesn't have bad matches. Well, neither does Sky Smithson. And the best way I can put it is these two beat the piss out of each other.
Yeah, I like the slow start. Very, very technical wrist locks. And everyone was just waiting for come on, just smack the shit out of each other. And then it all started with a Sky Smithson beefy forearm, and you just saw Rhio, that look in the eyes, and you're like, yeah, shit's gonna go down here. And then Rhio straight back, we were like, yeah, here we go, go on.
Yeah, get into it. It was, but that was good that this was the first match back after the second interval.
Yeah.
So starting slow like that, everybody's getting back into it, bringing everybody back up, getting us ready for the main event. But this match was just it's everything I personally really love about wrestling. I enjoyed every match on the card, but when you've got two people just battering the shit out of each other, almost Japanese strong style, battering the fuck out of each other, that's what I love. And they just really went for it and delivered
That lariat as
another.
well. That lariat is, a move that's used by Franco Fate, but you wouldn't want to take one off him, but you wouldn't want to take one off Sky Smithson either. Them lariat clotheslines
No,
knock your
not
head
at
off your
all.
shoulders.
I was just about to call it the decapitator.
Yeah.
It really was. I'll be honest. I was getting a little bit fuzzy at this point, and I was just sort of enthralled in the action. I just remember the forearm exchanges, like you said, Paul, just going back and forth, just hammering each other. But Rhio comes out on top yet again.
Yeah,
nice. She's keeping the belt warm for Lexus. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well,
Could well be.
nothing major happened after that. That would indicate who's going to be next. I
have an idea.
I thought in my idea that at a Pride show we may have saw a returning ZZ, but nope, keeping us waiting.
There were unconfirmed reports that ZZ may have been in the building.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Right.
Just saying.
That's interesting.
So who knows? Like I said, I'd love to see ZZ back. We've said that a few times now on these wrap up shows, so we'll go into it again. But yeah, I've seen the poster for the next show. I've got an idea who the next challenger is, but I shan't say it here. If you want to see who it is, go and have a look at the poster.
I know, I need to. I've not seen it yet.
It's good. Mr. Boggs is back. Woohoo!
Yeah, Ernest Boggs is back.
Ernest Boggs is back.
Oh, it's back. Yes.
I was just to sidebar. I was stirring stuff up a little bit on Twitter earlier because during the Ernest Boggs episode, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. We were talking about like the importance of promos, filming promos, right? Getting your point over and stuff. And he said something about people sort of doing it, on the Nanseti or something. And my mind, well, not my mind, but I'm sure a lot of people's minds just went to Sash. So I kind of mentioned it.
You've said that before.
The boss said it, not me.
You bullshitter.
Pause besmirch Sash about his Nanseti or working at DFS or something. I think it was. I don't know.
His nan won't even let him in anymore. He does go to DFS or IKEA.
But yeah, I sort of looked at it. I was like, "That's not Pop at Sash, is it?" And then it's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, it might be because Brad and Franco aren't on the poster, so Sash might be in singles action. So it might be against Mr. Boggs. Who knows?"
Maybe that's why I enjoyed this show so much, because there was no Regime and Sash. It was quite a welcome event to not be graced with their presence.
We still had Adam Bolt and Jackie T.
Yeah.
They're not Regime, they're associates.
Adjacent. Yeah. Regime adjacent, I suppose so.
So, obviously...
I've said his name. Adam Bolt.
That's it. Takes us to the main event. And like I sort of said, through anonymous sources, I've been able to watch the match in full. Done the reel, posted that earlier to show my appreciation, to try and get people to go watch the full match on Triller if they haven't already. Adam Bolt, Tony Wright, ladder match for the Pride title. This match was made a couple of shows ago by Mr. Bobby Cash and Ivy, kind of going backwards and forwards, making the stipulations. And just as great as every match has been, or that I've heard how great every match was on this show so far, it speaks volumes that this was this has just left such an impression on everybody that was there.
And not only the fans, the people, the other wrestlers who were in attendance to watch it, and the commentators, and just people who are far more knowledgeable than I could ever hope to be. Everybody hyping this up, and it does deserve it, because I think it went nearly, or just over half an hour, went nearly 35 minutes, which is a mammoth time to have a wrestling match. And it didn't feel like that long at all. Admittedly, by the end of it, I was getting a bit worried about getting back from my train. So part of me was like, "Oh shit! I really need this to finish soon."
Yeah.
But I don't want it to. But it's got to finish. But I don't want it to. But
yeah, it was just when you thought they couldn't do any more to each other, they pulled something different out. Tony retweeted a clip today, which was the famous from the ladder.
Yeah.
The top of the ladder
Yeah.
outside the ring to inside the ring was ridiculous. Adam Bolt hit a monster
stunner, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the eclipse that Athena / Ember Moon does, which was mental. Both men just tortured themselves with the way they landed on some of the ladders. Like Adam Bolt just went face first into one off the top rope. Tony Wright got thrown into him. It was brutal.
The ladders were knackered, weren't they? Like, I saw one part where Tony Wright was opening up a set of ladders to climb up, and I thought, you're seriously not going to try and use them, are you? They were absolutely goosed. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it in my life on TV live. That is the best match I've ever seen, and I've already said it. There's a lot of wrestlers that even weren't in attendance. We talked about people that were in attendance. There's people that weren't in attendance that are talking about it. It was insane.
And I think that's shown up in some of the figures, because True Grit tweeted either yesterday or today saying that it must have been today, saying that ShowTime Slam has done their biggest ever first 24-hour numbers.
And rightfully so.
I think that's on Triller as well.
Yeah.
So the chatter, the online chatter is driving people to it, and that can only be a good thing. And these two just put on an absolute war. There was some bullshittery with a certain co-general manager who isn't Bobby Cash getting involved, and Jackie T obviously being there and all of that, which I suppose kind of should have expected. Don't you, Stat, Nick?
I must admit, sometimes I think that maybe, his character aside, maybe Jackie T is slightly underappreciated for what he delivers in matches. He took a bump through a table off a ladder, and he's fantastic, an asset to the match as well. He added a part to it, and often in quite a lot of matches, the hairspray spots and everything, his timing's fantastic, and sometimes he doesn't get the credit. He's not really spoken about. It's just something in the background. I'd like to see him have matches and find his spotlight. He's been brilliant, at the side. I like seeing him as a manager, but we need to see some spotlight for Jackie T. I think he deserves it.
We said earlier about the tag match, man. Adam and Jackie versus Jay and Sammy. That would be an awesome time to shine. Jackie could come in and absolutely smash it. I agree with you. The dude is awesome. It's obviously just True Grit fans know him as, Adam Bolt's manager, security, whatever the label is. But if he got a chance to shine, I'd be all for that.
Or maybe sort of do something a little different with the tag match, because Jackie T was involved in both of them. Get Sammy Blue and Tony Wright tagging up against Adam Bolt and Jackie.
Yeah,
that'd work. Because obviously, it's, we're not going to get Shea Monet every show or anything like that. If you're looking at what makes who's available, what makes sense, that's a match I'd love to see as well. But yeah, you're right. Like, sort of buying into the story aside, Jackie does phenomenally well, and it says a lot that he was trusted to be put out there twice in the same show. That doesn't happen a lot in any promotion nowadays. And we're talking all the way up to WWE. It just doesn't happen that much. Managers aren't necessarily a popular thing anymore.
They are crucial, though, aren't they? It's like Tom McManus with Meatwagon. They do have a purpose. I miss the old school managers, and I like Tom McManus's, Jackie T's. I think that they can be quite important, if they're used right. And like Jackie T's I think he's been brilliant. All the timings and everything. I don't like ladder matches usually. I sometimes find them quite awkward, especially when the timing's wrong. If somebody's not ready to meet the ladder in time, you'll see somebody, 5 steps away from the top and they're reaching up at the belt. You're like, come on, man, don't be ridiculous. Climb up a few more steps and just reach out. But there was nothing like that in this match. The timings were fantastic. There was nothing awkward about it. It was, as I say, like from not liking ladder matches to, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. That's how well they did it.
This was your Frown versus Razor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dude, like, I've made that comparison between Bolt so many times, I'm not going to do it again. But like, at some point, Bolt even did the crotch chop, and I was like, yes! I marked the fuck out for that. I was like, yeah, go on, sag it.
I'm just watching it. Like I said, I've got it on in the background here. I've completely forgotten that when Bolt did the second rope moonsault and ate shit on it, just before that, he delivered a rolling Death Valley driver to Tony Wright.
Onto the ladder.
Onto the ladder itself, yeah. There's just so much awesome stuff in this, but
there's that bit
meant everything.
When they did put the bridge, the ladder stood up, and they had the other ladder like as a bridge.
Yes.
And Tony hits the net breaker, just kind of drops and hits the net breaker, or drops Adam on back of his head onto the ladder bridge. Mate, I was just like, my God.
Punishment was unreal. What they put themselves through as well for our entertainment is absolutely, yeah. Like they really punished themselves. I could see Tony Wright's knee, and there was more than just selling a move with that knee. I think he hit a pedigree, and I noticed that he had to tuck his left leg in to protect that knee because he has damaged his knee. You can clearly see that there was something niggling him there, and he carried on, and it was mental, absolutely mental.
Just take a second as well, because again, anybody who's not a stranger to this channel, not a stranger to my views on wrestling and who I like and stuff, obviously, I've hyped Adam Bolt up to the moon. I've also hyped Tony Wright up. I've said Tony Wright's awesome. He's amazing. He's had great matches at True Grit previously, going like against HT Drake and numerous other people. But I kind of think that he flies under the radar sometimes. But this was the match that just, if you wasn't quite sold on Tony Wright, if you just thought he was a bit of a showman, a bit of a razzmatazz, I've got that word stuck in my head now. It's not razzmatazz. If you just thought if he was flamboyant, if you just, you just thought he kind of had that charisma about him, and that's what he relied on. No, mate, this match, the dude is a solid professional wrestler who just knows what he's doing. And he is one of the top guys in this country. He's just, you can't be in this match, go 30 minutes on a ladder match, hold your own with Adam Bolt if you are not that good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of, if you don't know now, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, just unfortunate now that obviously losing that match, Tony Wright has to wait a little bit longer now for the chance to challenge for this Pride Championship.
Well, in all fairness, we're saying this. He can't. No, not while Adam's the champion.
Yeah, that's right.
But just to rewind, just want to rewind because somebody mentioned, you mentioned Ivy coming out, helping Adam. Because obviously Ivy was one half of the people that was on about making the match stipulations. I'm just going to throw this out there. My hot take is, like Ivy turned up and Ivy helped out, mate. Some people could say Bobby Cash just kind of threw Tony to the wolves. He made this match knowing the odds would be against him.
Knobheads would say that.
Huh?
Knobheads would say that. Ivy stuck her nose where it didn't belong.
Just look up. He's her best mate.
Effectively, you can say there's no honor amongst thieves all you want, But they still stole it in the end.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Well, I'm
do it,
thinking it'd be nice if somebody had Tony's back. If somebody's going to put somebody in a ladder match, that's a no DQ against somebody that has allies. I don't know, I'm just thinking. I think it's a bit
because
Nick,
in every other. Oh, Nick, your head's so far up your ass you can see what you had for breakfast.
I would be flossing with my shoelaces.
That's a horrible image.
No, I'm only kidding. Probably Cash, love you early. Or do I?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, of course I do. But yeah, and obviously that was the main event. That was, like you sort of said, probably overran a little bit, but I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that. It's just, how can you not leave that show happy having just witnessed that match? Like Paul said, probably one of the best matches a lot of people have ever seen. Can you imagine that being your first show, that being your first ever main event that you've witnessed? Mate, that is setting the bar high for your second show. If you go to that show and it's your first ever show, you go to the next show and it's going to be like, oh, yeah, it was all right. It was good. But
yeah. During the main event, the camera goes to a group of people after one of the big spots, and I'm pretty sure I've never seen them at True Grit before. And
I know what you mean.
All night they were just popping for everything, especially the super athletic moves and the super dangerous stuff and anything that looked particularly gnarly. They were just like, the minds were consistently blown.
They were.
Time and again.
I was sat in front of them. You were stood behind them, and I kept turning around just to see their reactions. Yeah, it was nice. You could hear them commentating, on it, like what they think is going to happen next. And we've not seen them before at True Grit, but it'd be nice, like whether it was just because it was the Pride show, but that's the thing with True Grit. It's a family, and there was a flag as you walked in, and it said this place is for everyone. So if you came down to the Pride show and you enjoyed what you saw, it's the same for every show. Everybody's always welcome. It's not just for, Pride week and then back into hibernation till, next Pride. It's there for everyone. Everybody's welcome. And that Pride title is defended all year round, not just on an annual event. So come down and join us, because like, as much as you enjoyed the show, the True Grit faithful enjoyed having you, because nobody parties quite like you guys.
There we go. Well said, dude. Love that. That's awesome. Well said. And very, very true. Like I said, the Pride belt is defended consistently, on a regular basis. Yeah, come show your support. It is, that's True Grit every show. It's not just because it was the Pride show. We want that kind of energy. We want that kind of, openness. Everybody's welcome. Come and enjoy it. Come witness the awesomeness that is True Grit. Just British wrestling in general. If you came from afar to watch that one and you're not local to Leeds, if you've got a promotion near you, go support that promotion. Go just, support British wrestling as a whole. That's my mantra.
And if you do want to see the Pride title defended again, at the end of the show, after Tony held the belt aloft, there was, after Adam held the belt aloft, I think there was going to be a bit of a beat down of Mr. Wright, and that drew out Adam Bolt's challenger for the next show, which will be Kid Bandit in York.
Dude,
Adam Bolt, Kid Bandit.
That was worth making him wait for, weren't it, Dan? That was worth making him wait for. Look at him. Look at him.
That's what we're getting.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Wow. So, obviously, Pride show, awesome. Loved it. Everything sounds like it was amazing. Quick segue in, obviously, to the next show, which we'll talk about more in a few weeks, I'm sure. But at the moment, then that's 2 matches that we know of. I mean, we've got Kid Bandit versus Adam Bolt and Joey Slade versus Alton Thorne in a death match.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's two huge matches for York.
Alluded to, hasn't been confirmed, but it was said at the last show in York, and they are all on the poster. Kemper, Busick,
and Brady. I forgot about that. Wow.
Can you just call him Brenda?
No, Brady.
I thought Paul called him Brenda.
I might have done. I'm knackered.
Oh, Brenda.
I'm sure I said Brady. I hope I did.
It's my area, man.
We've got it's Merchman Stew versus Sean Only.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, damn. Posters.
So that's 3 matches announced. One heavily alluded to with people on the poster, and I could make a little guess to another one, but I think I'll let Nick check out the poster for himself, and you can all do that too, because there's a few people on there I'm excited to see back. 1 or 2 less so, but yeah.
But I don't know, man, because I love the York shows. I do. I think they're awesome. They're huge. But Kemper, Brady, Vuzic, that's just kind of, that feels left bank to me. But if they do that at York, that is amazing. I'm not going to complain about it. That'll be like fucking.
If other people feel the same, if you feel that is a left bank worthy main event, just come to York. It's 20 minutes on the train from Leeds.
Yeah, exactly.
True Grit have said if you're looking at getting transport from Leeds to York, drop them an email. I took the Wrestle bus to with Nikki, Jeebus, Tony, and a few of Tony's family. True Grit laid on a minibus for us from Leeds to Eggborough. Worked like a charm. It was great. Yeah.
That's not to be smirched. That's not to be smirched York. I'd like to say, I love the York shows, and obviously the kind of, it was set up at the last York show anyway, so it would kind of make sense. But yeah, I mean, I think long gone are the days where the York shows were the B shows. If that ever was considered, I think it was considered by some people, but it never was. But I think that might have been the mindset. But the York shows are becoming unmissable, and I don't get why people can't make that trip, kind of thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to extol the York shows because, well, I'm there. It's my hometown, and I'll be there slinging cans to people. But yeah, it's not quite it's not quite the venue that Left Bank is, but nowhere else is.
No,
there's a reason it feels so special, and that's because Left Bank is an incredibly special venue. But if you're only going to Left Bank shows, you're only getting half a story. Because so much happens in York, we get so many bangers, and we have done for months. Come down, enjoy it, drink the beer I'm selling, make JC have to do another wholesaler run.
Oh, can we just take a quick second as well? Have you guys seen the Alton Thorne promo video that he did a few days ago?
Yes.
Oh yeah. He's not happy.
Damn.
Yeah.
So good though, so good. Just everything about it, just like the lighting, the face, the music, like softly in the background. That is a promo video. That is, that's just.
I still think we're going to get some twist to that.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's going to be full on death match. Like you said, it could be that they get the line as close as they can to it. But
we can get a barbed wire shark. I'm sure that can do damage. Barbed wire cuddly toy.
No, Bandit will be there.
Yeah. Maybe lend Alton Thorne the shark. I'm sure he could do some damage with that.
Oh god, that's just ridiculous. That's craziness. Yeah, like I'm not missing 3 shows. That is like freaking. I'm just going to retire. If I missed the next True Grit show, I would hang up my hat, just renounce British wrestling forever. It's not going to happen. So I will be in York. I will be there to watch this show. But I am still generally a little part of me has died inside because I missed this Pride show. But you two guys obviously told me all about it. all the clips I've seen and stuff from the main event that I've watched. Yeah, it was just a success across the board. Every match delivered, every match over delivered. Everybody went home happy, and True Grit just absolutely cemented why they are one of the best promotions in this country right now.
Yeah,
100%.
and it was a great turnout as well. A big crowd there. It really was nice to see, and True Grit deserves that.
Gentlemen, I think on that note, I will ask you all to let people know where they can find you if you want to, or you can just let us tag you in stuff and I'll tell them to go follow you. But Dan, decide what you want to do.
At Dan Griffin 21 on the socials. Usually tweeting a load of old bollocks. Spent a lot of time tweeting today about Slammiversary. Don't want to drop any spoilers in case you lads are going to watch it or anybody listening hasn't seen it. But it was very, very good. If you want to hear more of me talking about stuff, Unbooking the Territory at UTT Podcast, all our stuff's there. We're on a hiatus at the minute because my co-host, Rob, has a newborn son. So, well, a 1-year-old son at this point. So, that put paid to that, but we don't mind.
It happens, yeah.
And on SJP World Media, the Doctor Who pod, where I talk all things Doctor Who. So, yeah, come join us over there.
And Mr. Stewart?
Yeah, I've not really got much going on in terms of social media. I have the Enzerico section on TikTok. That's just more the family's journey, the kids' journey with wrestling and how much they're enjoying it and things that they like to do. And then I have Paul Stewart Art as well, which is all my painting stuff. So, yeah, that's about it, really.
Didn't you wake up on Saturday morning to, was it Robbie just kept walking around with a ladder or something?
Yeah. I don't think I've sent you this, Dan. We had a ladder in our spare bedroom, and I've woke up and literally Robbie is carrying this ladder into the bedroom, and he puts the ladder up and then jumps off it onto me and Becca. I've got videos of it. I'll send them over to you. Who's heavily inspired.
Don't try this at home.
He was heavily inspired.
Oh, that's awesome.
Brilliant.
Just wanted to, just imagine you trying to get out of bed and then Robbie just hitting a famouser and just be like,
yeah, it was a swanton bomb. And he landed on his feet, but then did a flip after it. So, yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, obviously, you know what I'm going to say. Thank you for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment, all the generic stuff we always ask you to do. Join us later on in the week where I will be joined by Saxa from over Liverpool Ways, training at the Temple, tearing it up at Wrestle Island and other places. So join us for that. And thank you for watching. Please try and get to the next True Grit show in York. Come say hi if you're there to any of us. You know, we're a lovely bunch of people. We just want more and more people to get to the York shows. I want to see the rafters full. I don't want to see an empty seat in York at some point. That's the goal. And yeah, always remember, always work the left side. Goodbye.